Welcome to the AYFL Student Athletes Excel podcast show. I am your host, Coach Cortez. The Atlanta Youth Football League is committed to being a level above the rest by emphasizing being more than just about football. The AYFL exists to enhance the quality of life of our student athletes, their families, and their communities. We utilize football as the hook to capture the attention of our youth as well as their families. In doing so, we aim to achieve the following objectives: guiding them along a successful life path, developing them as leaders, encouraging and supporting them with regards to excelling educationally, and connecting them with career/business opportunities. We appreciate y'all for joining us for episode 1 of the AYFL Student Athletes Excel podcast show. In today's episode, we're going to talk about why is the AYFL saying that it's committed to being more than just about football. Yeah, we know. Y'all just want to see your kids out there having fun. They put in the hard work all week long, and now the weekend is here. And it's just time to allow them to go out there and enjoy the game that they love to play. And that's good, because that's definitely part of the reason why the league exists. It is a beautiful experience to see the joy on the kids' faces, to see them light up and flash those memorable smiles. We're not talking about changing none of that. The foundation that the league is built on is and always will be the game of football. That's the starting point. We're football people. And for me personally, the game of football saved my life. Down the road, I'll break down a bit more what I mean by that. But in today's episode, I want to really drive home the point as to why it has to be more than football. Check me out. First and foremost, let's talk about the top end goals that many of our youth players have in mind, that they have etched in their hearts. And that top end goal is to play football in the league one day, to make it to the NFL, to go pro. And ain't nothing wrong with that. See, for many years now, since I've been mentoring youth student athletes, I've approached that conversation with them like this: dream big, dream big. Go after that NFL dream with all that you have. Now, I want you to do this. As an extension of that dream, tell me, what is it that you see yourself doing for a career after you retire from playing the game of football? Because we don't know exactly when it's going to end, when that last game is going to be. But we do know there will come a time when you play your last game. You see, saying it like that is different than saying, well, son, you need a backup plan. What about your plan B? And the reason why I've never said it that way is because, number one, it makes it seem like you don't believe in their top end goal. Number two, it may put a barrier in their mind, whereas they begin to not listen to you as much. And number three, it really could lead to a kid having lower self-confidence. And I know none of us want that. But let's get back to it. So, the top end goal: go pro. Let's check these numbers out. According to data from the NCAA, approximately 6.5% of all high school football players across the nation will go on to play college football. And then just about 2% of those who play college football will go on to make it to the NFL. So yes, a handful of our kids will make it to the league. However, most will not. And that's just the reality of the situation. Therefore, as a league, we're taking advantage of the opportunity that we have to impact these kids' lives in a meaningful manner at a young age to help support them along their journey. The standards that we're establishing for our association directors, the standards that we're establishing for our coaches, the standards we're establishing for our players, in addition to the standards we're establishing for our parents, it's all for a reason. We're all in this together. Yeah, on Saturdays, it's team versus team, but that should only be about healthy competition and truly fun and games. We got to reshape the youth football culture. We got to get away from all the negativity. We got to raise our level of expectations across the board. The lives of our kids depend on it. And I'm telling you from experience, without going all the way into my story, but I'll say this much. Remember earlier in the episode when I said many of our kids have the goal of making it to the league etched in their hearts? What happens when your heart is broken? I know what happened to me when football broke my heart. I went into a deep spiral of depression. I was in a dark place mentally, spiritually, and emotionally for a decade. 10 whole years. True story. So when we as a league say it's more than football, there's a reason behind that. We need our kids dreaming big in multiple areas of their life. We need our kids having a practical roadmap to success. If there was a 2% chance that you could go to work and get paid, would you go to work? But that's what we're doing to our kids when we make it all about football. We're doing them a disservice. We want all AYFL affiliated kids to know that they come from something great, that they was a part of helping to build, taking it from one level to the next, a league that will play a pivotal role in uplifting the Black community. And that has significant meaning, because even for the ones that don't go pro in football, we want to make sure that they know that it is just as meaningful to go pro in any other area of life, to go pro in any other career in life. When we allow player A to start, get 50% of the carries in the game just because he is the most talented kid on the team, even though we know he chose to skip practice, he was not behaving right in school, he was caught stealing at the grocery store. And yeah, there's reasons why all of that goes down, and we'll touch on that in future episodes. But the point of the matter in today's episode is we got too many coaches that are so afraid to hold player A accountable because we need him. His mama gonna trip and take him to the other park if I don't keep feeding him the ball. Youth football culture needs a new direction. Youth football culture needs to become about what's best for the community. The AYFL Student Athletes Succeed program is about changing the mindset, changing that paradigm to more of a focus on becoming the true best version of yourself. And that's to become a holistic student athlete that taps into the other passions of life and truly experience the beautiful benefits of that duality. If we tired of people telling us to shut up and dribble or shut up and play, then we must instill within our student athletes at a young age the importance of being more than just an athlete. We have to change the narrative within our neighborhoods from solely focusing on saying, hey little man, if you work hard, you can go to the league one day. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Again, I say, ain't nothing wrong with working hard to aspire to get to the league. Nothing whatsoever is wrong with that. The problem becomes when we as a culture embrace that idea as being the be-all, end-all. When we as a culture pacify the most talented athletes on the field or on the court. When we as a culture accept the most talented athletes being disrespectful and dishonorable, simply because we don't want to rub them the wrong way, ruffle their feathers, make them feel uncomfortable, and see them fly away to the other team. Because if we lose Lil Man, half the team gonna leave, and then my team gonna take the field and we gonna start losing, and I can't get on IG no more and talk that talk. Come on, man. We got our priorities all mixed up. If you're not holding these young men accountable right here, right now, you're setting him up for failure in life. If you're not instilling the concept of leadership within your team construct to whereas player B can tell player A, hey man, you ain't working hard enough. If that ain't the type of team culture that you're establishing, then you're doing it all wrong. Cause you're scared mama gonna get mad. That little man coming home with the stank face talking about coach yelled at me. And here go mama without any context about what's going on. Ain't nobody gonna make my baby cry. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. We have formalized a kiss my butt culture. If you're not kissing my butt, I'm gonna find a team that will. What is that teaching that child? So anyways, let's talk about some solutions. As y'all heard in the intro, the Atlanta Youth Football League is committed to being a level above the rest by emphasizing being more than just about football. The AYFL exists to enhance the quality of life of our student athletes, their families, and their communities. We utilize football as the hook to capture the attention of our youth as well as their families. In doing so, we aim to achieve the following 4 objectives. Number 1, guiding them along a successful life path. Number 2, developing them as leaders. Number 3, encouraging and supporting them with regards to excelling educationally. And number 4, connecting them with career/business opportunities. Also, there's 5 AYFL initiatives that we're focusing on, which consist of the core issues that we're tackling at a young age so that we can prevent them from becoming prevalent problems in adulthood. Number 1, youth violence. Number 2, school dropout. Number 3, poverty. Number 4, substance abuse. Number 5, homelessness. Now, what ties into those initiatives is the Student Athlete Development Program, which consists of the core programs we have established to address the foundational issues our youth are facing. Programs such as youth football, student athletes succeed, student athletes lead, student athletes excel, and student athletes work. And I'm going to wrap up episode 1 by introducing y'all to one of our new programs, the Student Athletes Excel program, which is where we will coach our student athletes to excel academically, yet also with regards to the acquisition of knowledge, because every kid's path will not include going to traditional college. Some kids are going to benefit more so from our Student Athletes Work program, whereas they will be exposed to a variety of trades or simply be exposed to the fact that they can create their own jobs as entrepreneurs in a positive light. In the meantime, we're setting the standard that Just like some players want to be a 5-star athlete on the field, we want our youth to be 5-star students at school, which is why we're introducing the 5-star student athlete weekly reporting form. AYFL student athletes who attain a 5-star and 4-star rating in the classroom will receive incentives throughout the school year for accomplishing that goal. Also, each week on the AYFL Student Athletes Excel podcast show, we're going to spotlight the AYFL Student Athlete of the Week. And at our second annual AYFL Rings of Champions ceremony, each AYFL Student Athlete of the Week will be recognized for their achievement on and off the field. The AYFL Student Athlete of the Year will be selected from that group and will receive the biggest recognition of all the awards that are presented on that special day. The whole idea is to foster a culture where we balance the recognition they receive for excelling on the field with the recognition they'll begin receiving for excelling off the field. If you're a business or institution that is interested in supporting and or collaborating with us, either email us at info@atlantayfl.org or all things AYFL related. The online home of the league is www.atlantayfl.org. To support our operations, visions, and programs, we invite y'all to join the AYFL Giving Circles. Let me touch on those right quick. The concept of a giving circle is based on a form of collective philanthropy, whereas a group of individuals or a group of companies pool their financial resources to make contributions and support charitable causes. We have 2 giving circles. One giving circle is for like-minded individuals, and that one is the AYFL Student Athlete Development Giving Circle. The other one is for like-minded companies, and that's the AYFL Student Athlete Empowerment Giving Circle. Both giving circles involve the concept whereas like-minded individuals or like-minded companies come together to make financial contributions either monthly, quarterly, or annually to help develop or empower the AYFL student athlete movement. You can visit the Giving Circle page online at www.atlantayfl.org for secured online contributions. And let me say this, big time appreciation goes out to all our member associations and affiliated leagues, as well as to all the directors, coaches, team managers, and parents. We know that y'all sacrifice a lot to pour into these young men and young women, and your contributions will not be overlooked. Thank y'all for all that you do. And on that note, that concludes episode 1 of the AYFL Student Athletes Excel podcast show. And to all my student athletes out there, remember to be focused, be disciplined, don't quit, keep your head up, stay committed, compete, have faith, and finish.